Greetings, team, my tribe of true believers. How y'all doing? I want to thank you for tuning in to another episode of Badass Unscripted. This week, let's talk about lowering the bar. You know, sometimes when we fail to succeed, we look for ways to make it easier on ourselves. We make excuses. We start this internal dialogue that says, don't set the bar too high. We start forgiving ourselves for doing things, not done things. You know, planning, waiting, emailing, calling, thinking. We give ourselves credit for a partial point. Did we get it done? No, but we got the first thing done. Well, you know, sometimes taking a big thing and breaking it into a small thing is not about excuse making, it's about calibrating, isn't it? I remember the first time I tried to do a timed run, and I thought, I can probably do this run in like 20 minutes. And it turns out I can't. It'd take me 30 or 32. I can't remember what the number was. So I learned pretty quickly that it's just not physically possible for me to run as fast as I thought I could or as I would like to. So I know I've got some building to do. Now that's baselining. That's all about the learning process, which is so important. But look, week in and week out, if you fail to make small improvements, you don't throw in the work, you don't put in the practice, you don't push yourself. Repeated excuse making and accepting inferior results is no longer baselining. You're selling yourself short. You're talking yourself out of victory. You're fooling yourself. So if there are areas of your development, your progress, your life where you're not getting results you want, because let's face it, if I can teach you how to crush results in the team room using your Agile skills, I want you to be able to take that ability and go crush other areas of your life. So if there's any area of your life where you're not crushing it, you're not doing what you know you're capable of, you're not doing what you think is expected of you, you're not happy with your outcomes, then ask yourself the question, did you lower the bar? Because all of us have dimensions that we're working on. I want to read more. I want to be in better shape. I want to learn a new language. I want to be nicer to my friends. I want to spend more time with family. I want to do more charitable work. We all know what that takes. We all understand what the steps might be. We may even make plans to execute those steps. But when results don't change, it's because the steps were wrong and we haven't yet adapted and come up with a new plan, or you're not executing. And when you're not executing, there's a tendency not to look too hard at it, to say, well, at least I did X. Pat yourself on the back and move on. We call that lowering the bar. I don't want you to lower the bar. I want you to raise the bar. In the time that it takes you to make excuses about why you didn't deliver on your promises to yourself, you could have emailed someone from the local shelter and said, hey, my name's Chris and I want to scoop out mashed potatoes at the next holiday dinner. And it would be done. The commitment's there. Now all you got to do is go spend the hour or the 2 hours on the day, and you have now increased your charitable commitment or whatever it is you value. So don't let yourself off the hook. Raise the bar. Don't lower it. Now you make this a habit and it will become apparent of where do we do this in the team room? Where do we say, well, you know, it's a big, complicated problem and HR is not ready to jump on board yet, so this is about as good as we could expect. That is lowering the bar. That is letting yourself off the hook. It is still true that HR is not ready to commit. It is still true that that affects your ability to execute, but the conclusion that you draw next matters. That it's okay to leave it as it is, to rebrand that as a win. Really great example of this is the dashboard, right? The old dashboards we used to use in project management, you probably still use them today. Somewhere, someone who's investing money in an outcome wants to know if it's red, green, or yellow. Now, how many times do we used to go to those meetings, taking a red and reframing it as a green by moving the deadline, lowering the outcome, lowering the expectation, changing the definitions, or the worst one was saying, well, yeah, I didn't work on what I was supposed to work on. I didn't hit any priorities, but I did do a whole bunch of these other things, this unexpected work. That counts. Therefore, we're yellow, not red. That's letting yourself off the hook. So let me challenge you this week. What can you do to raise the bar, to hold yourself accountable? No excuses, no redefining, no rebaselining, no constantly dropping the target. Check it out. Let me know how it works for you. You can reach out at badassagile.com. Find me on Twitter at badass_agile and on Instagram at badassagile. I thank you for tuning in. Love you because you're crazy. And I'll see you next time.